Our Victron Energy stuff is finally here.
We've had the Victron inverter for about a month now and I've been dying to see what's inside.
Get up on your feet.
It's not that bad, it's quite small.
Joe has been like a kid at Christmas with this thing. He's been desperate to open it since it arrived.
This is what converts the battery power into AC plug power. We can connect this straight to our shore power and then charge all our batteries straight from the plug. And that can charge them really fast. So we should be able to charge all our batteries up in about 5 hours, and we've got a huge battery bank. The problem is this thing is really, really heavy. It's about 20 or 40 kilograms. So we need to find a good way to fix it on securely. Here she comes with 3 months worth of medicine.
Got my medicine.
Is that all?
Yeah, so I will not die or go insane on our trip. I'll try not to. Joe's finished about 90% of the electrics, so now that that's done we can cover up all the exposed metal work where we shoved all the wires in.
First off, we're going to cut some strips of DODO Thermal Liner Pro, stick them on all these struts, and then use the silver foil tape to create the vapor barrier. It smells like Zambuca. Try. Do you smell it?
It does a little, yeah.
Oh.
A bit licoricey.
Doesn't cut very good at all.
So I cut to here, yes?
10 centimeters.
It feels like I'm cutting through what I imagine it feels like to cut through, like, flesh. No, do you know what it reminds me of? Once when I was doing part of my nursing degree, we got to touch a lung. That's the texture.
Okay, so DODO mat's the texture of a lung.
A dead lung, not a live lung.
Okay, 4 more.
My hands are killing me, or like the muscles in my thumb.
Get chopping, come on.
Now Joe's making me cut out some horrible lung textured horribleness.
Whilst Jodie cuts out the Thermal Liner Pro, I'm just going to finish off this little bit where the fan was. Getting better at it though.
Now that we're finished.
And then we'll chuck it up there.
Oh dear.
Ooh, that's a nice one. That's a chef's kiss.
Not the best you've ever done.
No, look at that.
Poor job. Can you not burp like an animal in my face? Sticky. Alright. It's on. I don't know if it's been done right, but I think I need to be taller for this.
This is L2. I think there's L3s. So this is the medium height and you've got like
How high
2
is
foot
it
above
then?
you.
How high is it then?
So you're 156, 61 inches.
I thought it was 156.5. This is going to be hard.
That's right.
Like here. Over this.
Lit here. Alright, that's pretty good. Watch! Did it hit you on the schnoz? This is quite a good whip. We've finished lining all the struts. I just realised we still need to put some wooden slats on here.
Is that something we were supposed to have done before?
I'm not sure. I was going to glue it and then screw it, but we might have to just screw it. So I've taken off all the DODO Mat thermal liner off here. So now what I'm going to do is put glue on, use some self-tapping screws and get the wood up. So here's one I did as a test. Now all we have to do is the other 5.
I don't know why.
Alright.
Lost my hat.
Let's have a quick slurp of the Yeti. I'm completely making all this electrics up. Do not copy what I do. This is definitely not how you do it. Jodie might not be safe.
What?
I feel like I can do it wrong now. I don't have to pretend I know what I'm doing. Oh, it's upside down. Oh my god. Okay. So this is our shore power.
Looks very professional. It's so hot. I'm boiling. Today's our last day in this house, so we have to move everything out. The van was supposed to be ready by today, but we are way behind schedule. But we're gonna go and live with Joe's parents for a while, hopefully just for like a week or so until the van's finished. So we're all packed, well, mostly all packed. We've packed up, let's not record my unmentionables. Joe's stuff was the easiest to pack because he owns no clothes. All of his clothes are in that bag. How is that possible? We're gonna take all this stuff now to Joe's parents' house and then get the van finished ASAP so that we can get on our travels. ASAP as soon as possible. This is my box of entertainment. So this is stuff to keep Jodie busy on the travels. And it's got embroidery stuff in it and threads and all sorts.
Embroidery?
We have moved out officially. All the stuff we've just pulled out of this 3-bedroom house is going into that one tiny van. We've finally moved all of our things out of that house, and now everything is either in the van or in Joe's parents' living room. We'll be cutting down even more on the items that we have, because if it doesn't fit in the van, it cannot come with us. Our plan is to try and cut our Super King mattress down into a double so that we can reuse what we already have. So we had to carry it all the way from our old house, down loads of flights of stairs, into the van, drive it to Joe's parents' house, and then carry it all the way back into their living room before we can try and cut it down to see if it fits. So it was quite an ordeal. The problem now is that we've ended up in a like 30-something degree heat wave.
I think I'm dying.
So every day for the last like 2 or 3 days and for the rest of the week is going to be like 35 degrees, which is far too hot for us to function. So all of our building is slowed down because everything is like very, very tiring and very, very hot and sweaty.
These 70mm cables are what connect our battery to the inverter. So we definitely don't want these to touch because
So I will explain to you our electrical system. I won't really. I don't actually know anything about electrics, Joe will tell you. We know this is major overkill for a camper van. They do not need this amount of power and this kind of system. We know eventually we want to live in an off-grid home, so we decided to invest in the good quality electrical system, and ultimately when we find where we want to settle, we want to be able to use all of this equipment in our new home to make it off-grid.
So like Jodie said, this is complete overkill for a camper van. We've got an inverter that's capable of running a whole house. We've got the 5000 VA Multi-Plus 2, which is capable of doing 8000 watts. This is more than enough to power the van. Are you laughing?
No, that's not true.
Oh. We originally planned to put the inverter under the bed in the back, but it's a little bit too tall and it also vents hot air out the top. It's a little bit in the way at the moment, so we might build a little fake wall in front of it that still lets the hot air come out, but I think this is where it's going to stay. So this is our DC side. We've got our DC to DC charger, which converts the engine power into battery power. We've got the solar charge controller, which brings in solar from the roof and comes through here. We've got the Servo GX, which is the brain of the whole system. Everything connects to it, and then we can log into it through an app and view all the statistics and see how much power is coming in, how much is going out. We can trigger relays, control all kinds of things from there. So that's going to be pretty useful. We've got some step down converters. So what these do is, because we're running a 24 volt system, these will convert the voltage down to 12 volts, which is a much more common voltage for vans. The fan, the fridge, the lights, everything's 12 volts. And our Victron Smart Shunt, which is how we're going to measure how much battery we're using and how much capacity we have left. I don't know where the majority of our power will be coming from. It's either going to be from solar if we're stationary, or if we're driving a lot, it will be coming from the alternator power. So I've left a little bit of room here so that we can add potentially one more DC to DC charger. So if we are doing a lot of driving, we'll be able to double the output, which is going to charge it pretty quickly. We're building our own battery because it's a lot cheaper and we can get much more capacity. We've ordered our cells directly from China, 16 300 amp hour cells. I'm going to put all the cells together and make a battery. We're going to plug it in for the first time and see if it works.
If it doesn't, do we die?
Oh, I don't know.
Do you want to double check?
Oh, okay, the inverter's clicked on.
Nothing's smoking.
Oh, it's humming. I don't know if the fuses are on. Let me check the fuse box. Nope, everything is on.
Like good or bad?
It's reckless. So what we're hoping to see is 12 volts. Ooh, it works. Okay, 12 volts. So now we should get power in the lights and all the 12 volt stuff now.
Oh, wonderful. Look at them.
Let's now check the plug. So I've stolen a lamp from inside. My mum won't watch the video, so it doesn't matter. All right, so we've got AC power, we've got DC power in here. That is the electrical all done.
All finished?
Yeah, that's everything. All we need to do is to fit the BMS to the battery. Because it's a homemade battery, you need a battery management system. We also need to bolt down the battery to the floor. There's going to be up to 300 amps going through those cables, so we're ordering the 70mm ones. So that is the electrical finished.
You look very, very happy with yourself. Do you feel proud?
Not proud, I just love this stuff. Look at the size of that battery.
It is
I can't understand how you don't like the look of that battery. Look how pretty it is.
It's just literally blue squares. But you say the same when I'm telling you how beautiful a book is, or look at the cover and you're like, oh, it's just a book. This is just a battery to me.
Alright, we have power then. It's just...
Do you feel accomplished though that you've learned how to do this yourself? Like you've had no electrical
I know how to do
training?
it. Don't say that, I'm a professional electrician.
You're not.
This is all certified.
I'm proud of you.
I know that was a really boring and technical video, but make sure you join us next week where we'll be spending our first night sleeping over in our van.